You probably have a cabinet full of expensive solutions, serums, toners, and peels designed to give you that glass skin glow. Yet, despite the hundreds of dollars and hours spent on 10-step routines, your skin seems to be in a state of constant rebellion. We are living through an epidemic of over-cleansing and over-treating, where the very products meant to save your face are the ones currently destroying it. Think about how your face feels right now. Maybe you apply a basic, dermatologist-recommended moisturizer and your cheeks immediately start to sting. Or perhaps you're trapped in a cycle where your forehead is incredibly oily by noon, but the skin around your mouth is flaking off in dry patches. Then there are the breakouts. Not the occasional whitehead, but deep, painful red bumps that appear out of nowhere and refuse to heal. If you stay with me until the end, you'll understand the biological reason these symptoms are happening and exactly how to reverse the damage. When these symptoms flare up, the instinct is to fight back. We assume our skin is congested or dirty, reaching for even stronger tools. We buy higher percentage glycolic acid toners, we use physical scrubs like sandpaper to buff away the flakes, and double down on prescription retinos. We treat our skin like a problem to be scrubbed into submission, assuming if a little active ingredient is good, a lot must be better. This aggressive approach misses a vital piece of human biology. Your face is protected by a microscopic, invisible shield that works 24 hours a day to keep you healthy. When you layer 3 different acids and a physical scrub, you aren't just cleaning your pores. You are systematically stripping away your body's primary line of defense, leaving your skin completely exposed to every pollutant and bacteria in the air. The chronic redness and stubborn adult acne most people struggle with are frequently misdiagnosed as permanent skin types. In many cases, these aren't genetic traits at all, but the physical symptoms of a completely decimated skin barrier. To fix the damage, you have to stop the chemical assault immediately and allow your skin to perform the biological repair it was designed for. To understand how to fix the damage, we have to look at what's happening at a microscopic level. Think of the outermost layer of your skin as a brick wall. The skin cells, or corneocytes, are the bricks. The mortar holding those bricks together is a complex mixture of lipids, specifically ceramides, cholesterol, and fatty acids. When this wall is solid, it serves 2 purposes. It keeps your internal hydration locked in, and it keeps external irritants and bacteria locked out. Overexfoliation and harsh chemicals cause that lipid mortar to dissolve. When the mortar disappears, the bricks become loose and the wall develops gaping holes. This is the moment your skin becomes vulnerable. External bacteria can now walk directly into the deeper, living layers of your tissue, triggering an immediate inflammatory response. That inflammation is what you see in the mirror as redness, swelling, and those deep cystic breakouts that never seem to go away. This structural failure leads to a measurement called transepidermal water loss, or TEWL. This is why your skin can feel bone dry and tight, even if you're drinking 3 liters of water a day. Without the lipid mortar to act as a seal, your body's internal moisture simply evaporates into the air. This state of critical depletion makes the skin brittle, leading to the fine lines and flaking that many people mistake for premature aging. The only way to stop this evaporation and block the bacteria is to implement a recovery period known as barrier fasting. This is a radical departure from the more is better philosophy of modern beauty. It is a period of intentional minimalism designed to give your skin the space to rebuild its natural defenses without constant interference from synthetic chemicals. Successful barrier fasting requires a total elimination of all active ingredients. This means your vitamin C serums, your AHAs, your BHAs, and your retinols must be moved out of the bathroom entirely. For the next several weeks, your skin cannot be asked to brighten, peel, or renew. It has one single biological priority: structural stabilization. Healing your face requires shifting your focus from attacking imperfections to supporting the skin's architecture. By the time we finish this next section, you'll have a specific protocol to rebuild that architecture from scratch. If this approach to biology-first skincare makes sense to you, take a second to like this video and subscribe. It helps us keep these deep dive guides free for everyone. The first step in the reconstruction protocol is changing how you wash your face. You must abandon any cleanser that produces a thick foam or lather. These products strip away oils, which is the last thing a compromised barrier needs. Switch to a non-foaming, milky cleanser or a gentle cleansing ball. These options remove surface debris while leaving your natural lipids intact. Most foaming cleansers contain sodium lauryl sulfate or similar detergents. These molecules are highly effective at breaking down grease on a frying pan, but on your face, they act like a solvent that melts your skin's lipid mortar. Using a foaming wash while trying to fix your barrier is like trying to dry off while standing in the shower. It's physically impossible to make progress. Step 2 focuses on hydration. After cleansing, do not dry your face completely. Apply a simple, bland hydrating serum, something with glycerin or panthenol, directly to damp skin. Humectants work by grabbing onto water molecules. If you apply them to a dry face in a dry room, they may actually pull moisture out of your skin to satisfy their chemical bond. Applying them to damp skin ensures they trap that surface water and pull it into the epidermis where it's needed. Step 3 is the most important, the seal. You need a heavy, bland cream that contains a high concentration of ceramides. As you can see in the diagram, these ceramides act as a synthetic version of your natural mortar. They sit in the gaps of your broken skin wall, creating an artificial seal that physically blocks water from escaping and bacteria from entering. This gives your skin the quiet environment it needs to begin its own internal repairs. Even with the right products, a few daily habits can ruin this artificial seal. Washing your face with hot water, anything above lukewarm, will liquefy the lipids in your moisturizer and wash them away before bonding with your skin. Using cotton pads soaked in astringent toners will mechanically scrape away the protective layer you've applied. During this phase, you must be incredibly gentle with the physical surface of your face. This 3-step protocol, gentle milky cleansing, immediate damp hydration, and a ceramide seal, serves as a temporary life support system. It handles the defense part of the job so that your body can focus all its energy on the rebuilding part. If you stay consistent, your skin will eventually stop relying on these heavy creams and begin producing its own protective oils again. One of the biggest hurdles in barrier repair is the timeline. We are used to products that provide an instant, temporary glow, but biological healing is a slow process. You won't see a complete transformation in 48 hours. Realistically, you are looking at a multi-week commitment to this minimalist routine. This is due to the biological law of cellular turnover. As shown on this timeline, a new skin cell is born in the deepest layer of the epidermis. It takes approximately 28 days for that cell to mature and migrate to the surface to become part of your barrier. If your barrier is severely damaged, you have to wait for an entire new generation of cells to reach the surface before the wall is truly fixed. While you wait for those new cells to arrive, you need to minimize physical trauma. Most people ignore the friction from their pillowcases. Standard cotton fibers are actually quite rough at a microscopic level. As you move in your sleep, those fibers act like a slow-motion saw, creating microfissures in your newly forming skin cells. This is why many people wake up with more redness than they had when they went to bed. Switching to silk or satin reduces this friction and protects the healing surface. You can also speed up the quality of this repair from the inside. Your body builds the lipid mortar using fats available in your diet. By increasing your intake of omega-3 fatty acids through things like walnuts, flax seeds, or high-quality supplements, you provide the building blocks for a more resilient barrier. This helps the skin produce a glue that is much more effective at trapping moisture. After about 4 weeks of this discipline, the results are evident. The stinging sensation disappears, the tight feeling after washing your face is replaced by a natural suppleness. Most importantly, the chronic inflammatory breakouts begin to subside because the bacteria no longer have an open door into your skin. You end up with a face that functions as a self-regulating system, one that no longer requires a dozen different products just to look normal. Healthy skin is a self-sufficient ecosystem, and the goal of any good routine is simply to protect that ecosystem's natural balance. If you've been over-treating your skin, give it the gift of a barrier fast. Let me know in the comments if you've noticed these symptoms of a broken barrier, and don't forget to subscribe for more science-based beauty guides. I'll see you in the next one.